Electronic Arts Los Angeles. This is where game addicts merge with Hollywood's A-list to create the next generation of entertainment. In 2004, video game sales reached $9.9 billion. Medal of Honor and Batman Begins are just a few of the games that EA creates. We're here to take a look at what it takes to play with the professionals.
A lot of my role is kind of interfacing with the talent community and the creative community here in Hollywood. So a film director or a film writer, for example, how do we get their skills to be relevant and resonant in games?
My job as the Chief Operating Officer tends to be setting up process. It's the interaction of the creative element with that process that I think is really inspirational for me.
Here at EA, they've found unique ways to pull the best work out of their creative staff. Their focus is on constantly inventing new ways to break the boundaries between player and game.
As a player, you ask, and as a creator, what is the universe? What's the story? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? And when you have seven people together, I think the creative energy, they kind of spin and spin and spin and iterate quicker.
If you walk into one of the cell meetings, which a cell meeting to them, because of the fact that they're all sitting next to each other, is literally them like yelling over their cube or like sitting in their common space. And you'll usually have one person who's like sketching what it feels, feels like, as sort of trying to define what the art look might be. And so you see lots of sketches.
It's not just a matter of getting a whole bunch of great people together. It's a matter of getting the right people together and putting them in the right places to succeed.
The people who create these games are deeply invested in what they do and take inspiration from films, games, and each other.
If a great film provides you with an amazing character that you can empathize with and you can feel for, the next step of empathy is actually interactivity, where you actually can be the character. And I think that's the promise of what video games has to offer, especially in storytelling, of actually not being like, oh, I recognize those characters in me. I am actually that person, and what that can actually provide as an impact to how you begin to feel, change your ideologies, emotionally connect with the medium.
One project that they're particularly proud of is Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings was a really amazing experience because what we were trying to do with the video game was translate Peter Jackson's vision of Middle-earth into the video game. We got to interact with the actors because they all sort of provided voiceovers. It was really amazing to just sort of see that art form and be able to do that translation and adaptation in a way that really brought home the movie and extended the movie.
The line between film and gaming could not be more direct than in the case of Max Spielberg. Max is the son of Steven Spielberg, but instead of following in his father's footsteps, he has instead decided to make his mark in the world of games.
I've always been kind of more into film and trying to head in that direction, and then about 2 years ago I was like reading all these stats and percentages of how the video game industry is becoming huge, but it's still so young, and I was like, this is a great time to jump into a new industry that is filled with just amazing creative people. At that point I knew I kind of wanted to step into this side of the entertainment industry.
But what these game makers are most excited about is seeing what and who are coming up next.
I look at a lot of our customers who are playing our games, and when they're talking about the games that they play, they're much more sophisticated in the language than even we are. I really imagine about the next generation of game makers, particularly because they grew up with games so interwoven into their lives, and what they will actually be able to see, and what they will actually be able to, the stories that they'll be able to tell through our medium.